Hi guys, it's Mrs. Klace with your 3rd through 5th grade lesson for this week. Happy Memorial Day weekend, by the way. Today's artist is a woman named Laurel Birch. She is an American artist that worked in San Francisco. She was born in 1945 and died in 2007. And the thing she is just known for worldwide are her sort of abstract cats. And they're always really brightly colored and have geometric shapes on them and a really sort of simple, funky shape to their bodies. But she almost always did cats. And the thing that kind of makes her stand out, I love the colorful, bright cats, but the other thing about her that I find interesting that kind of stands out for me is that she was never trained as an artist. A lot of the artists we studied went to art school, but she never did. She was a single mom and just started making art that spoke to her. She had grown up with a bone disease that was rather painful, so she started making art as a young kid because she couldn't do a lot of things that other kids could, but she always drew cats. And this art just sort of ended up being her expression, but also was a way she fed her family, and she grew a big business out of these cats later in her life. So we are going to try today. I think they're fun in that they are just fun to color and pretty easy to draw too. So I'm going to give you guys a step-by-step guide to drawing a Laurel Birch cat, and then the coloring is going to kind of be up to you. I did colored pencil in the triangles and I used crayon too, but this is a great blending practice, guys, because she does so many bright colors. You can blend this in so many different ways. And I added a little butterfly. You don't have to do that. You could add whatever you want, but I just sort of added that in there. Okay, so getting started with our Laurel Birch style cat, I'm going to hang this up so you hang this off to the side. But the first shape we're going to start with, guys, is the head. And the head, we don't want it right in the center of the paper. We want it sort of off to the side so we have room for the body. So you are going to start with a shape that kind of looks like a big U, but it bends in a little bit at the top. Her shapes kind of get more narrow at the top, so you're going to start with that shape. After you do that, you are going to give your cat some ears. So just by going down on one side, the other side, and connecting it in the middle, a pretty simple way to do these cats' head. Okay, and let's also add the eyes. The eyes always draw you in her pictures. They're always very large. So let's give your cat some nice big eyes. They're sort of shaped like footballs or lemons, the big kind of cat eye. And after you do those, you're just gonna draw a rectangle that comes down and makes a nose for your cat. Okay, let's get to some details up here. So inside the ears, if you would like, you can add lines or triangles. Don't have to, but I think it's a nice detail. And then inside the cat's eyes, we are gonna just add two, almost like parentheses to make the eyes. And then her cats always had just sort of a really firm stare to their work. So I put the pupils right there in the center. And for this, I'm also adding this space around the eyes because she often did some really beautiful color blending around the cat's eyes to really make them stand out. So I'm putting those lines in now. Down here, we've drawn lots of animals together by now, but you know that this usually is the line that comes down to sort of make the muzzle or face of an animal. And then you can add whiskers if you would like. Mine, I didn't realize in my sample I didn't do whiskers, but anyway, no big deal one way or the other, but if you'd like to do whiskers. Okay, now for our cat's body, this would be a good start for the head. You can add some of your own details if you'd like, but you notice that it's like a big scoop to make this cat's body. So I'm gonna start up here close to the eye and make a big scoop that comes down, around, and stops. Okay, so a big shape like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. If it's a little wonky, it's okay. These aren't like super realistic cats. And then you're gonna start the legs of the cat up by the face, come down and give your cat 2 simple paws and then connect to the cat's body. Pretty easy, guys. If you want to leave a little more space in here, I actually think I do. Want to leave a little more space, you can. But anyway, so we're just drawing along. Oh, the tail, pretty important, right, guys? So we're going to bring this line is just going to follow up and curve around. You can make your tail as wiggly as you want, but that's sort of up to you. Once you do this line, it looks kind of like a question mark, but now we need to give it the other side. So I'm going to come around and down and bring it back to my cat's body. So if things are, mine's a little wiggly, that's okay. You know, it happens when we draw. Please don't spend tons of time erasing because it's kind of an abstract cat. And at this point, you want to choose the shape for inside your cat's body. Here's an example with triangles. You could do little squares. You really can fill in with whatever shape you want. It just gives it kind of a, I don't know, it gives us sort of a tribal feel. These big shapes in here that are just brightly colored. And you're just sort of filling them in across the cat's body. And you'll be able to color those any way you want. And you can even switch it up. I can hear you guys asking, can I do triangles in one part and squares in the other? Of course you can. Or you could do circles, right? Whatever, it's just a geometric feel. So whatever you want, whatever makes you happy, those are decisions that each artist can make. And then I'm gonna go down here and give him some little toes. And that really is about it, guys. Pretty simple. At this point, you will just decide how you want to color it. Like I said, on the smaller spaces, I used a colored pencil, and I tried to do purple and 2 shades of blue to give it a little of a blending feel. And then I used crayon on the rest of the cat. I did it with red crayon, orange and yellow. And as you might be able to tell, you might be thinking right now, Mrs. Klace, you used a warm color for the cat's body and cool colors for the smaller shapes. So if you're thinking that, I love it. You're remembering some of our color theory stuff, and I think that makes the colors kind of pop if you use warm and cool colors together. So enjoy making your cat. If you want to add a butterfly or a bug or anything on the outside, go ahead and do that. Have a great time doing this, and I'll see you next time.